All right, and our last video for this for 093, we're in Appendix D dealing with absolute values. Okay, so when you look at these things, the absolute value is how far away are you from zero? It's like a distance. So if you're asking yourself, how far away are you from home? It's always a positive distance you are from home. Okay, so this goes within the same, no matter what x is equal to, it's always a positive number. So when you're doing these, you get to write them twice. And you get to write it as exactly as it is. So x can be this, x can equal 3, or in this case, x can also equal -3, because -3 is 3 away from 0. Okay, so you have a plus and minus answer. So what happens if you got an example like this? Well, the first thing you do is you got to get the absolute value by itself. So the first thing you want to do is subtract 28. Subtract 28. So you would have -2 absolute value of x is equal to -34. Okay, divide by -2, divide by -2. So the absolute value of x is equal to +17. And this is where you get to write x is equal to 17 and x is equal to -17. So writing the plus and minus doesn't seem quite, you don't really quite understand that just yet. But let's go look at an example where I would want to write it as two values. So in this example, I'm going to take what's inside 3x minus 5, set that equal to 10. And the other thing I'm going to want to do is write the exact same thing, 3x minus 5 is equal to -10. Okay? And then I get to solve each one. So 3x is equal to 15. Divide by 3, divide by 3, x is equal to 5. Or add 5, add 5. So 3x is equal to -5, divide by 3, divide by 3. So x is equal to -5/3. All right? So that's why you always want to do that plus or minus. You don't want to just give a plus or minus because you're going to have to do some solving here. Okay? But you always isolate the absolute value when working through these problems. Now you're going to get things like this. Okay, so before we could write the equation exactly as it is. So x is less than 7. All right, but then we would write it as -7 as well. And when we have that negative, the alligator goes the other direction. Okay, so that effectively solved, but we've got to go in and graph it. So here's my -7, here's my +7. All right, they're open circles. All right, now I've got to test whether they're going together or they're going the opposite direction. So I'm going to test the point 0, 0, or not 0, 0, just the point 0. So is the absolute value of 0 less than 7? So is 0 less than 7? Yes, that's true. So these are going to connect here, like so. Another example. All right, here we go. Actually, I want to make the alligator the other direction. Let's try that. All right, so the first thing I have to do is isolate that. So I'm going to subtract 3, subtract 3. So then I get x plus 2 is greater than 7. So now I get to write it as x plus 2 is greater than 7, and x plus 2 is less than -7. Subtract 2, subtract 2. X is x is greater than 5. Subtract 2, subtract 2. X is less than -9. So when I come here and graph, here's my 0. Here's 5. And here's -9. Again, I get to have open circles. I would have closed circles if I had the equal sign. Okay, and I'm going to test the point 0. So is the absolute value of 0 plus 2 plus 3, is that greater than 10? 0 plus 2 is 2, so I have the absolute value of 2 plus 3. It's greater than 10. The absolute value of 2 is 2 plus 3. Is that greater than 10? And 2 plus 3 is 5. And is that greater than 10? And the answer is no. That way, that would make that go that way and this go this way. Okay? But all your rules of solving hold the same. You just need to make sure that you make, before you break it up into two equations, you got to get the absolute value by itself. All right, so email me with any questions or ask me in class.